my allotment. Today I'm going to be talking about rhubarb and how you look after it and when you can pick it. Seen a lot of stuff on the online forums questioning whether you can pick rhubarb during these months of July and August, which I will tell you about. And if you've not already subscribed to my channel, if you could please do so, because I'll be giving you lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my home garden, my home allotment, and also my home kitchen. So as you walk over to the allotment, walk over to the rhubarb, I've got kind of like two areas here, and one's growing a bit more and one's not growing so much. Now, the rule that people say is you never pick a rhubarb if there isn't an R in the month. Now, that's not strictly true. During the months that haven't got an R in it, what you'll find is your rhubarb might not be growing quite so prolifically. It might be a little bit more like this, a little bit thinner. But I've actually got two patches here, and one's thicker than the other. Now, what I always do and what I would suggest is when it's not growing quite so abundantly, if you pick any, just don't pick as much. What you never want to do, you never want to pick it bare, because that would adversely affect it. And if you've got a bit of rhubarb that isn't doing as well, like this one, I've picked off this quite a bit and it is looking a little bit thin on the ground. You know, I might take a couple of sticks out, but the bigger ones. So just don't take so much. But this one over here, which actually is doing quite well, and I've got a fair few pieces of rhubarb here, a little bit of weed, always need to do a little bit of weeding. I could pick a little bit out of that, but what I would do is I would water it after I've done it. So you do have to use your common sense a little bit. Some people say it's poisonous. The stems are never poisonous. The leaves are, so you'd never ever eat the leaves, but the stems are always fine to eat. They aren't so sweet this time of year, so that's something worth bearing in mind. And you might want to add a little bit more sugar, some orange juice when you cook it, maybe some strawberries, that's quite lovely. So you might want to add something to it to enhance the flavour, but the stems are perfectly okay to eat any time of the year, but just do not pick it bare, and do not pick it if it does look a little bit sickly, and give it a water after you've picked it. I mean, today I'll probably chuck a couple of buckets over this just to keep it going. The other thing that sometimes happens is you get a flower coming up through the middle where it's going to seed. Now, if you see that, don't wait for it to mature, just cut it right off from the bottom, because if you leave it, it will stop it from producing more rhubarb. So if you see something like that, make sure you cut it off. Now, I've got a really good rhubarb crumble recipe, which you might have seen already, but if you haven't, we will put a link for it so you can take a look at that too. Now, I hope this video has really helped you guys. If you've got any comments, then please do let me know, and we will always do our best to answer your questions or queries.